Welcome, fellas. My name is Shems Heartwell, and I'm honored to be coming in as the pillar for the relational aspect of this time together, this journey. And the Sacred Sons Brothers have invited me in to share with you some of the gifts that I've cultivated and learned swimming in the relational pool. And I believe, in my experience, relationships are the front line of human evolution. If I'm not relating well with myself, with my beloved partner, with family, with children, with the world, then nothing really goes well. And so the value in us being able to become more skillful, ultimately, at giving and receiving love is one of the best investments of our lives. And so I want to share with you a few of the things that have had a huge impact on my life, on my relationships, on the people I've worked with. And they all stem from an aspect of what we call integrity. And most of us think of integrity as, I'm keeping my agreements. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm in alignment with my life, my work, and all that. And that's absolutely true. And there's another way to think of integrity, and that's as wholeness. Integris or integrity means wholeness. And relationally, a lot of times we relate from fractured places in us. Just from our wounded parts, from our thoughts and mind, from the stories we make up that are not necessarily what's happening. And relational integrity is a way of being with ourselves and each other that allow us to pay attention more deeply, to listen more fully, and also a way of building bridges. So a lot of us are very developed in mental understanding. We've read all the books. We've had so much information in our lives. We're very mentally developed, which is wonderful. However, this mind also hijacks us and gets in the way of what could be called heart intelligence, what could be called the deep knowing of our intuition and our gut and the brain in our belly. And what we want to think of with integrity is that when I'm with somebody, I'm listening from more than my mind. I'm listening for what's felt with my heart. I'm sensing from my gut, what does this person need or want that I'm with right now? How could I show up to really meet this person fully? Another way to think of it is that we want to build bridges of connection. And we don't realize that a lot of times when we get upset or reactive, we often shut down or we fight, we get intense, we protect, we defend. And all those things, they block the bridges of understanding. They get in the way or they interrupt our ability to really listen, to be in tune with, to connect to another. And so relational integrity is a way of actually keeping the bridges opening and enhancing them, making them bigger. It's like the bandwidth of the internet. The more bandwidth we have, the more capacity we have to upload, download, share information. So relationally, giving and receiving love is actually an aspect of having these bridges between us, these ways of exchanging our presence, our love, our attention, our care. And I want to share these three primary bridges that we want to be aware of in our lives that we can actually enhance our capacity. And the first one we know really well. It's the mind. It's the understanding. It's hearing what's said. It's knowing what that person is sharing. It's language. It's ideas. It's thoughts. It's concepts about reality that we resonate with or come to understand. The shadow of the mind is that we grab onto what we've read, what we've heard from others, what we think we understand, and we often believe it's true, and we see through a lens that can interrupt our deeper wisdom. And if we're overly developed in our mind, what happens is we don't have a lot of feedback from our intuition, our knowing. So the next bridge is our heart. And that's that sense of being able to be in coherence with a partner, being able to feel and sense, to be aware of that wave of emotion that might be happening that they don't even know yet. There's maybe a wave of fear, of sadness, of discomfort. And with our heart, we are sharing a field of exchange. And that's more important than what's said. Because beneath words, beneath ideas, beneath concepts is a transmission of feeling, of energy, of information between us. And the more that we're able to hear the words and understand those, but also sense what's beneath the words. What's the message? What's the feeling? What's the quality I feel with this person? Then that person hears and feels us. And then the next bridge is down in our gut. And that includes our sex, that primal energy of like, I want to ravish you. I want to penetrate you. I want to take you in. I want to enter you. And that's a valuable one. And then there's another level right with that, which is this gut sense of like, I know you. I feel you. I even can sense what you're wanting or needing, even if you don't know it yet. And as a man that penetrates the world, that penetrates a partner, we want to also be able to feel inside of a partner, to sense and feel them beyond our mind or our eyes looking at them, that we feel and know them. And that's where our gut is so important, because there's as many, if not more, nerve impulses and understanding throughout the gut brain as there are in the mind. All ancient wisdom, whether that's Taoist or the Hindu tradition and Ayurvedic, they always bring us home to what martial arts live from, is that there's this gut power in the hara, in our core center, that has a knowing that's beyond our understanding. And when we're able to be with somebody and actually feel and know them, you could think of it as like penetrating and connecting with them beyond understanding. What starts to happen is that person feels seen, feels acknowledged, feels connected with. And as soon as that happens, the environment is more safe. So if we flip what we and speak to what often happens in relationships or experiences, is we think we understand someone. We heard what they said, and then we formulate like a judgment of what they're saying, whether we like what they're saying or not, whether we agree or not. And then we get into this like, am I cool with this person? We may have judgments. And sometimes that mental understanding, and even if you think about it, mental evaluation of the other, it interrupts the sense of like, I already see and accept and love you. And from there, I want to understand you more. I want to understand your words. And if I'm listening to you, and if you're listening to your beloved, your partner, from your heart, and you're sensing that person from your gut, you're literally penetrating them with the presence of your energy and the quality of your attention, what happens is that person feels that you're all the way here. I'm not like talking to you, but thinking about what I need to text or send a message. I'm here, I'm in alignment, I'm in integrity in my own self in the sense of mind, heart, and gut. When I'm in that place, I create more possibility for us to relate in a healthy way. And I believe you know how easy it is to relate in an unhealthy way. How easily things can escalate from something said to shutting down, contracting, pulling away, fighting, pushing, getting into some form of drama, tension, back and forth. And in my experience of working with hundreds of couples over the last 20 years, there is this thing that happens when, even if I don't agree with you, if I don't agree with what you're thinking, what you understand, what you're saying, however, I'm open to accepting you. I'm open to caring about you, even if I don't agree with you. I'm open to really knowing you and sensing you. What happens is I'm creating a safe enough space that we don't have to close down. We don't have to defend. We don't have to protect ourselves. We can actually go through the first layers of maybe a little bit of friction, a little bit of misunderstanding, a difference in how we view what's going on, whether that's with your child or what you're going to do for dinner tonight, that we can actually go through that wave without as much like tension, reaction, shutting down, pushing away, getting into some back and forth, which most of us know pretty well. We can actually stay a little bit more in the depths of our being. And so how I want to help you to take this home and really embody it is I would love for you to notice when you're with someone you care about, whether that's a friend or a partner or your child or even a parent or someone you work with. Notice when you're standing or sitting or being with them, where are you listening from? Where are you inside of you? Are you breathing in your belly? Are you grounded in the sense of being at home in yourself? Do you have awareness of your heartbeat, of the sense of energy, of the sense of exchange? Because no matter who we are, No matter who we're with in the world, we're always exchanging information, and most of that information is not what's said. Most of that information is either coming through our eyes, coming through our breath, coming through the quality of our presence, whether we're there or not. And it's not really possible to lie because everything is actually exchanged. So another thing to be very aware of in yourself is that the more you're feeling your belly and sitting deep inside yourself and aware of your heartbeat and aware of the energy exchange between you and whoever you're with, what happens is that you're much more aware of what it feels like inside of you to be with this person. You're aware of whether something in you is uncomfortable. And you're aware of whether something you just feels so good to be with this beautiful, sexy being. And your whole body lights up. You're aware of that. And what I want to invite you to do is, while you're aware of that, notice that if you feel some discomfort or you don't feel like you're connected to this person, first relax yourself. First slow down your breathing. First change your own experience and see if that makes you feel more safe, more connected. What we do unconsciously is we want the other person often to change their behavior. We want our partner to be different. We want that person to be nicer, to not get angry, to not get irritable. And we're actually, unfortunately, unconsciously, we're tuning our instrument to them rather than being in tune in us and inviting whoever we're with to tune to us. I don't mean that as a higher power, but just as a sense of making sure I stay in tune by being in my breath, tuned to the heartbeat, and listening to more than the stories and ideas and impressions I get through my mind, through my ears, through my eyes, because there's other information that's actually more accurate and more true most of the time. And I think we all know this too, that often our parents, they would know us so well, they would know when we were lying. They would know when something's off. And I believe we all have that gift to know when someone's meeting us in authenticity or if they've got something in the way of that. And the more that I'm in tune with the places inside of me where I'm connected to my breath and my body and my listening, what happens is I make it safer for someone else to be fully authentic. That they don't have to put up a filter or a guard or something, or they don't have to present that there's something they're not. And a lot of times in relationships, there's a little game that goes on where we have our self-worth or our love outsourced in the other person and not self-generated. And whenever we notice that, we want to come home of like, there's a place in me that wants you to like me. There's a place in me that wants you to accept me. There's a place in me that wants you to make it safe for me to be here. And what we really want to do is I want to be the one that generates love. Even if you're not liking me right now, can I like me? If I don't feel safe because you've got some anger or my partner's charged up, can I resource safety inside of me by slowing my breath, by grounding into the bones of my body, by feeling my belly, by disarming myself of any unconscious protection that may start to creep in to protect me? If I'm wanting you to like me or accept me, can I first go in and say, what in myself am I not accepting right now that I think I need it from her or him or this situation? So when we're building these bridges, we're also going to the gym of building our own sense of sovereignty, our own sense of home base, of ground. And the gym is here 24/7 with anyone and everyone and everything all the time. Whether that's you hiking in the mountain and hanging out with the rocks and the eagles and the snakes moving through, whether that's you walking through a forest and being in tune with the trees, whether that's going to your family's house for dinner and being with all the unfelt feelings and stuff that might be in the family field, you're always in relation to something. And the more that you cultivate and practice listening and being in your gut, feeling and penetrating who you're with, listening from your heart, wondering what the emotions are, tuning with what's the words and the mind and the ideas and the concepts, when you bring all those together, you've got a real wealth of information and attunement to yourself and the other that allows you to actually create more possibility, to not shut down, to know, what do I want? And the last thing I'll share around this that goes along with these bridges is this reminder of being attentive to watch how the mind understands, perceives language, interprets, sees, judges, makes assessments, and then go to the heart and notice how the heart feels what's below the words. The heart has a sense of the emotions, the sense of safety, who this person is that's with you, how close you feel, how open you feel. And the gut, it has a sense of, what does that person want or need right now? And could I actually give them to that without even saying a word? Just by knowing and loving and caring and accepting. As soon as I feel someone from my gut and I'm sensing them and I'm accepting them and I'm loving them, and maybe I know what the vulnerability is in the moment. Maybe I know what's going on for them just on some level. And if I'm already loving and accepting them, I'm creating so much possibility for us to connect. And for it to be an environment of connection that doesn't run any old programs, any old stories, any old ways that we've learned from our family conditioning, from society, and even from what we've inherited from our grandparents and on generationally. Whenever we're here all the way in our being, we're new, we're fresh, we're alive in this time, and we're meeting this moment and this person with an authenticity and a freshness that allows new possibilities to open. And in relationship, whether that's sexuality, whether that's like keeping the heart of love and appreciation alive, that requires a new meeting, a new discovery, an openness to new possibility all the time. Otherwise, what happens? We get stuck in, my partner's this kind of person. My partner only likes sex this way. My partner always gets angry and cranky over here, and it's just going to be, that's how they are. Living in that realm starts to box us and limit what kind of relationship, and gets us stuck or locked into limiting relationships that get stuck in a certain groove that ultimately ends up being, I'm bored, I'm not happy, I'm not liking you, I'm building more friction and tension than I am love and connection. And so every moment we have this opportunity, even if we were upset 2 hours ago and we were angry and we were fighting, we can return to I wasn't really listening. I wasn't fully here. I was actually defending myself because I felt threatened in some way, or I didn't like the way that you looked at me. And I'm sorry I did that. And I'm actually wanting to meet you more here now. I want to meet you fresh, from my heart, from my gut, from my balls, and from the understanding of what I'm seeing in this moment, and understanding in your words and what you're sharing with me. And I'm choosing to see and accept you and not change you. That's the closing piece I want to end on. And every relationship couple I've ever worked with in my life, on some level, there's often a place that we want the other person to be different. We want them not to get angry. We want them to show up differently. And that's okay to want our partner to be different. However, if we don't lead with acceptance, with really feeling, seeing, and accepting our partner from where they come from, where they're at in that moment, then the possibility of something different happening gets very limited. If I lead with acceptance, I accept that you're upset, and I'm breathing into that, and I'm accepting that we're disconnected right now, and I'm okay with that right now, and I'm also choosing to stay open to you. I'm choosing to allow something new to happen because I'm really here, I'm listening, I'm available, I'm de-armoring anything in me that's pulling away, pushing at you, and I'm showing up with as much authenticity and integrity as I can in my wholeness, in this moment, right now with you. My hope is that this lands for you, and that this transmits a message of something you can play with and explore in your life every day. Think of it, I'm going to the relational gym every time. And if my partner makes me upset, okay, I'm in the gym right now. How am I meeting this? Am I resisting? Am I shutting down? Am I avoiding? Am I making her wrong? Or am I grounding more in me? Am I feeling overwhelmed and stressed and reactive about life and work and my partner, and I'm being cranky? I'm at the gym. All right, how am I going to meet myself right now? How am I going to slow myself down? How at home am I? How much am I going to ground and come back into alignment? The whole theme of Convergence right now that you're in on with us is realignment. So every relationship is an opportunity for realignment. Back in the gym, remember, find center, breath, core, heart, mind, I'm here. Thank you for taking this in. I hope this enriches and blesses your life in some way. And thank you for who you are and showing up right now.